Good morning! Hello, Facebook. Welcome back to another episode of Serial Creators. We're your hosts, Hank.
I'm Nisha.
And we're here to talk about creative content that's across social media today. So, Nisha, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're talking about engagement.
Ooh.
How to get your followers engaged. Or maybe even people that don't follow you yet. How to hook them. Is that smooth?
I'm a fish.
I was wondering what that was. I didn't really understand what was going on there.
I'm just a very
I
tall
thought you were
fish.
just like at a rave for a second.
And that's why we named the show Hook 'em. And we're kind of freestyle on Serial today. I guess we're kind of going our separate ways. We just could not find no unity. No.
Except for that.
But thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah.
Let's run the intro. Let's get started. And we are back.
Ooh, we got a new milk.
Whole milk.
Whole milk.
Whole milk. What do you mean by whole milk? Is it a whole?
As in like not half the milk ball.
What's half the milk?
I don't know.
What's a quarter of the milk?
I don't know. I don't even want to know all the details.
We doesn't know. It's just
They're
the
going
mission
to whole
to
milk and not whole.
Shout out to all the cows out there providing whole
Shout
milk.
out to the cows.
Half milk, we love you too. Awesome. Well, let's get right into it. So, with social media being the forefront of marketing, whether you're a small brand or just starting with social media, there can be kind of a hassle or more of like, I guess more of a AKA struggle
Yeah.
of trying to get people to engage with the content. But hopefully today we're gonna bring you guys some tips,
We're
some
going to
tricks,
change that.
types of creative content that you guys can post that can get your audience engaged and get more comments, likes, or even shares with the content that you post.
Yep.
So let's get started.
All right. First things first, screenshot games.
Screenshot games.
Screenshot games are so fun.
They're fun.
Have y'all ever played a screenshot game? If you had, let me know. I want to know whose game was it? What did you do? How did you play?
Did you win? Yum milk, whole milk. No, so for those that don't know what a screenshot game is basically a piece of content that you can post on social media that gets whoever the person who posted or brand who posted viewers engaged to where they have to screenshot to whether it's either putting a element in a certain position or whether it's catching something or putting something in a certain type of frame.
A lot of times these are on like Instagram stories,
Right.
or even just on Facebook
Yeah,
or whatever.
Facebook. And the whole objective is to get your viewers to engage and play with the game and comment when they win, or maybe sometimes when they lose. A lot of people are not gonna post when they lose. I'm not gonna post when I lose. I'm gonna make sure I'm perfect. Like I did 10 in a row.
Just like keep going until you win.
Just post like 10 in a row and be like, I never lost.
I think I mentioned this example once in an episode a while ago, but I know Mentos did a screenshot game
Nice.
when Pokemon Go came out, and it was like it looked like the Pokemon Go screen, but it was you were trying to catch Mentos, and so they had like Mentos jumping across the screen, and when it came into a certain frame, you had to screenshot it.
Nice.
And if you did, you won and you captured that Mentos. And so, yeah, it was a really cool way to get basically to keep people from clicking through. That's what we're always talking about. Either
Right.
like clicking through or scrolling through. Like, how can you stop and grab their attention for more than 3 seconds? Thumb stoppers.
For sure.
So yeah, it was a good way to get people to stop and actually engage with the content rather than
Right.
just skipping through it.
And people love games. I think it's so convenient. Like if you're already on social media, you don't want to leave your timeline to go to the app store or get in the game. Which those are nice, but if it's already inconvenient for them to scroll past and get engaged with and keep going on with whatever they're doing, it's beneficial for you and your social brand to get people to comment and engage, and get them hooked.
How many times can we use that?
I don't know. We need to put a count on there. Like, just keep count. At the end of the show, if you can tell us how many puns we made, we'll I don't know.
We do. We need a pun counter.
Yeah, we're gonna
Who
do a
can
pun
tell us
counter.
how many puns we make?
For sure, they're gonna be a daily contest. Keep note of that, guys. We're gonna do that. Another screenshot game I seen that was pretty neat was by Toyota. Toyota had an ad on Instagram stories, and what they did was they took, I think it was a Corolla, like the front view of it, and they made like this outline of it, like this outline frame, and on the story, you had the Toyota like kind of zoom in. It's kind of like it's about to run you over. It's a little bit scary. But you had to catch it at that perfect frame when you stop it on the story, and you was able to screenshot it and I guess send it in to win something. I don't know if it was a car. I didn't win, but I got. I wasn't that good. But again, like I said, screenshot games is a very unique way to get your viewers involved and share their winnings, get some engagement. What's next?
We've talked about making people feel special, making them feel lucky. Anytime you can do that, people are more likely to participate. Oh my gosh. So yeah, another thing I saw is like Facebook frames. We've talked about this before in a different sense, but those frames that you can put on your profile pictures.
For sure.
A lot of times individuals create those, or organizations create them, or people that are holding events create them for their events. But a lot of times it's just brands will create them and people will support it and put it on. I think I have an example. Yeah, so I put this one. So my family, we're very hardcore Boston Bruin fans. And the team had their own filter.
Nice. Because
they're in the playoffs right now, if you didn't know. And so if I put that on my Facebook, I could support them.
Nice.
And tell all my followers who I'm supporting.
For sure.
And a lot of times, companies and brands will do that. Teams will do that. And it's a really great way to get people engaged and talking about your brand at the same time.
For sure. It's a really, really unique outlet for brand awareness. Because Facebook wants us to win. So now when you set up a frame and you have people use it, their friends, it actually notifies their friends and say, hey, this person is using this frame.
Do you want to?
Do you want to use it? Come on. So shout out to Conrad Martin. I'm eating Rice Krispies cereal today. And this is in Reese's Puffs. So shout out to Conrad Martin. He's one of our biggest fans.
What are you eating for breakfast, Conrad?
What's for breakfast, Conrad?
I want to know.
All right,
what else we got?
Behind the scenes. Yes, behind the scenes is a really unique way. If you're a content producer out there, behind the scenes is a very unique way to get your fans or people who engage with your content involved to see what's the process behind what you're putting out there. Maybe if you're a designer or illustrator, maybe putting a stop motion story together.
You've done that
the
before.
process. Yes, so you guys follow me.
You don't follow Hank.
Follow me on Instagram at IAM_Hank.
I'll put it down in the comments.
But
Hank posts some cool things, and then he shows you how he did it, which is cooler. Ding.
But no, I think that's a really good way to get, so people see the process. People feel they're more
involved. They're like a part of it.
Yeah, and it's more relatable to see, okay, I see where they started and see how they come up here. Because you're not a robot. Some things don't, well, for some people they come like that. But, but most times things don't come like that. There's always a process behind it. So show the behind the scenes of, where you are, to how you get to where you are now.
We have an example of one of those.
Yes.
This one?
I think that's it, yeah. Cool. So this is a piece we ran across on Instagram, and you can kind of see the behind the scenes of how this team filmed this certain scene. You can see on the guy's camera how amazing that shot is, and he rode it on a scooter.
That's pretty cool.
Right. And
That's pretty cool.
Right, but being so transparent about that shows people you can make things like this too.
I literally rode on a scooter.
Right, and I held the camera, so next time I'm just gonna stand on Nisha's shoulders. She's gonna ride a scooter, and we're gonna film something very epic. On the next episode of CL Creatives. Right, but having that level of transparency, it draws people in. And I think as people are more likely to engage when they know where you came from and to get where you are now.
That's true.
For sure.
Ooh, another thing I like is, I love Instagram, period. And then on top of that, I love Instagram stories. I think they've done a great job of really making that look cute and professional and aesthetically pleasing, but at the same time, giving everyone the freedom to make it really personal the way that they want to stylize.
For sure.
Things.
Dad for the Instagram stories.
And so Instagram stories are a great way for brands or personalities to get people involved and following and engaged. One of the things I've seen is Instagram wallpapers.
Yes.
Designers, photographers, people will create these basically pieces of art and put it on their Instagram story and give other people the chance to make that their wallpaper on their phone, and all you have to do is like screenshot it. I found one. So this is, shout out Matt Crump. I follow him. He takes very beautiful pastel photos. Like they're always pastel. And so this first one's like, take a screenshot of this, and then it'll just like be plain so that you can take a screenshot of it. And it looks like that, and I just thought that was really cool because it's a way to like take his art and be engaged with it rather than just like scrolling through it on your feed and then not doing anything about it.
For sure. And it's more convenient because, when you're trying to post it on your profile, you have to type in all the hashtags. You got to put, tag the people that you want to see it, which is still good, but it's more convenient for your viewers to have it on Instagram stories to where they can just, use it as a wallpaper. And that's a real nice wallpaper. I think I'm going to use that.
I know. We got a comment. What's it say?
Oh, it's Ricardo. Ricardo said she's definitely beating you with the cereal game. This is purple to go.
You're right.
Hey man. Don't sleep on Rice Krispies,
man. Thank you.
Don't sleep on Rice Krispies.
Rice Krispies get so soggy so quickly.
But they're good. You can hear it.
You could when it wasn't soggy.
Yeah, it is a little bit soggy now.
No.
So for those who don't, oh God, I'm doing it again. God, y'all have to tell me to stop talking with my mouth full.
Every time we shut the camera down and turn off all the lights, we're like, man, we talked with our mouths full a lot. That's what happens. That's what happens when you're eating at the same time.
When you're doing delicious Rice Krispies. But no, so for those who don't know how to get a screenshot, if you're on Instagram and if you have someone that you follow that posts a image on Instagram stories and you want to use it as a screenshot, what you do is hold down that frame until everything disappears. And I think that's where the timeline at the top and the comment.
It'll all kind of disappear.
Everything will disappear and then you just screenshot it on your phone. So
you're welcome.
Food for thought. You're welcome. All right, what is next?
What about Instagram ad libs? Have you seen
ad libs?
Those are cool.
I love ad libs. So for those who don't know, it's kind of the same formula behind making a wallpaper on Insta story. But in this case, since you have the ability to write on your stories, some people have done the creative route of making ad libs on there where they fill out like these questions where it said, today I ate blank for breakfast, and I'll write in Rice Krispies.
Nice.
And I know it's a really good way to get your fans involved. And, if you're a small brand, let's say you have a product, that'd be a good chance to do a giveaway, which we'll talk about here in a second, to where you can have your fans or your viewers fill in the ad libs and send it to you. And that's a good way to get engagement and create brand awareness. Yeah, I forgot where I was going with that. But definitely.
Yeah, and then you can tag people.
You can tag people, yes.
You can use GIFs now.
For sure.
That kind of stuff's really fun.
Right. And speaking of tagging people, I think it's a really good way to do brand awareness. So if you have who's your best friend? And I tag Nisha, and I'd be like, oh snap, Nisha knows about the brand now.
Yep. Yeah, it's totally building that follower, that network. Because as soon as Hank tags me, now I'm interested in it, and I might participate, and then I might tag someone. So yeah, you're right.
For sure. So make sure you got some good stuff posting out there, guys.
What else?
What is next?
Ooh, so answering questions is always great because no matter, the world is a very curious place.
Curious.
Whether you're a brand, whether you're a media influencer.
Why is milk white?
We still don't know why.
Brown cows eating green grass producing white milk. I'm curious.
I don't want to know the answer.
I need to know.
But actually, people are very curious. People want to know the why behind stuff, and we talk about that all the time. Or the how. If you're a designer, I might want to know, how did he do that? Which is exactly why posting that behind the scenes or the process, that's why posting that, it can be so successful because people want to know.
Exactly.
So if you are a brand or an influencer that has frequently asked questions, you can go ahead and answer those. Whether you answer them in a blog, whether you answer them through Instagram stories. I've seen people do that.
Or even Facebook.
So shout out to the Collective BHAM. I saw this on their Instagram story, I think today or yesterday, and I thought it was a really great way. So this one's got sound, so I'll shut up for a second. But it was a really great way for them to kind of talk about something and answer questions that people may have without me having to ask that question.
For sure.
This was on their Instagram story.
All right, everyone, we're here with Diana. She is a stylist and assistant here at the Collective, and she's going to talk to us about Fashion Colored.
Looking good and feeling fine.
So Fashion Colors are very popular for spring right now, especially this fun pink rosy color. It looks really great on all different skin types, and it can be all over color or just like fun pops. Now, vivid colors are really great and they're a wonderful way to express yourself, but the maintenance can be a little bit more demanding. Especially if you have darker hair, you really need to be able to lift it, and that requires, patience, especially with us stylists, because sometimes when you have really, really dark hair or previously colored hair, it's going to take some time to get you brighter and lighter, because ultimately we want to take care of the integrity. I just thought that was really neat. I thought they did a really great job with that.
Awesome. And that's a great way to position yourself as a thought leader. So if you're kind of up and coming, building your brand, and you're in a space that, a lot of people are not familiar with, that's a great way to get your fans engaged and giving them, spreading knowledge. Knowledge is not valuable if you can't share it.
Very true.
Food for thought.
Very true. We got another comment. What's it say?
It's Lizzie, number 2 in wealth, analyzing journey. I think it was referring to the Instagram.
It was.
The ad-lib. Shout out to Anna and Lizzie. Anna's rich. But yeah, I think becoming a thought leader and using platforms like answering questions, FAQs, and just showing people what you know can really put you in a position to make your brand go.
So true. So true. What else we got? Polls.
Polls
are so great.
So for those who don't know what polls are, what are polls?
So when you ask people a question and you ask them to rate an answer.
Right.
So it can be a yes or no. It can have multiple answers where you're like, which one's the best? Things like that. And there are different ways to do this. So basically every social media platform at this point kind of has an option to add a poll.
For sure.
Twitter, you can add a poll with multiple, answers.
Right. Instagram
Facebook,
story.
Instagram stories.
Yep.
Instagram stories right now is limited to 2. I don't know if they're ever going to change that, but right now it's like a yes or no or
or this
one
or that.
or 2.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a great way because again, it's so easy for someone to just click it really quickly, click a button, and in that way they're getting involved because they're answering the question, they're participating, they're getting engaged with your content, and a lot of times they want to see what other people said.
For sure.
And so usually, you can't find out until you answer the poll. So once you answer it, you can see 60% said yes and whatever. So it's a great way.
I think it's a good way to get insight of something that you may be planning for. So if there's something that maybe you want to sell, but you're not sure if it's going to do well, maybe posting a picture and saying, hey guys, do you think I should sell this or not sell this? And then see what the audience says. And that saves a lot of money, saves a lot of time.
Free marketing research.
It's free marketing research.
Yeah, I've seen people do should I sell this online or in stores?
Exactly.
And you're getting, from the people that are going to buy it, you're getting the answers.
Exactly.
So you're going to know exactly what they want and get them engaged with your brand and having a conversation with them at the same time. So
For sure.
Really cool.
And even it doesn't have to be anything tied to your personal brand or whatever you got going on. So maybe it may be something that's going on in just life in general. So maybe there's a game going on and you say, hey guys, who do you think will win? And you have maybe the NBA is going, playoffs is going on now. Maybe you have the Cavs and Indiana, who's going to win the next game. And you got to see, then that gives you more insight of who are your fans a fan of.
What are they interested in?
What are they interested in? And then maybe that can be some kind of fuel that you can use to tailor your next piece of content to engage with that type of audience.
This is kind of random, but I saw a fun one. So Black Tap in New York City. Do you know who they are?
No.
It's a grill. It's a grill. It's a bar and grill. But they're known for their crazy milkshakes, and they're huge, and they've got cake and cookies and whipped cream and sprinkles all up. They're massive, and they're so trendy and Instagrammable. Which is why I follow them, and also because I'm an ice cream fanatic.
Hey.
But anyway, so they posted on their Instagram story, and I thought it was hilarious. It was just asking people to finish lyrics. So again, kind of super irrelevant to burgers and milkshakes, but it got me engaged. So the first one would be a Missy Elliott song, and then I don't know the words, but
I don't know the words. I don't know.
It's like throw it back, flip it, and reverse it.
Reverse it.
And like it would be like throw it back, flip it, and then the next one would be a poll, and the poll would say reverse it or like rewind it. And you would select which one you thought it was, and then the next screen would tell you if you were right. And it was so fun because I started playing this game and I was like, oh, I wonder if I know the lyrics to that song.
Right.
And I was totally engaged with a brand in New York. I've never been to this place, but I was totally like for at least 30 seconds engaged with the story, playing this game that they had kind of set up. And yeah, it was such a fun way. And here I am talking about it now.
Right.
So this is exactly what they wanted, is they wanted me to share and talk about it.
It just seems like music is just the best avenue for any brand to get involved in.
Yeah.
Like, if you can just, so for brands out there, if you want to get more people like us to engage,
start making music
around Missy Elliott and.
I still want to make a song. I still feel like we need to drop the beat. Not right now. We need to get in this.
Oh, not right now. Maybe on the next episode.
Next episode.
Cereal bar.
After you're on my shoulders and we're filming something else.
Something really epic. So back to the comments. Shout out to Anna. She said this is my favorite show.
Thanks, Anna. You're our favorite Anna.
Shout out to your favorite Anna. You know Anna spelled backwards is Anna?
That's a palindrome. That's what it's called.
Oh. I learn things every day, guys. I learn things. All right, what's next? We have current, relevant memes.
So this is my favorite. We all know this.
Memes are the best.
Memes are hilarious. Everybody stops for memes. Everybody shares memes. You can admit it. You don't have to admit it, but we know you do. We've all been there at like 2 a.m. going like, oh man, I should go to bed, but this is hilarious.
I mean, memes, it's so creative that memes are able to take these moments in like whether it's television or just random and just tell like a whole life story in like 3 or 4 frames, or even one.
Even one frame with a caption. So true. But sometimes, depending on your brand, maybe you can't really like be a meme. Maybe that avenue of humor isn't for your brand. But there is a way to stay relevant.
For sure.
With the times, and sometimes use humor, not always, but like there's just a way to stay relevant. And I think when you do stay relevant, you're definitely going to get more engagement because people are more attuned to what's happening now. For sure. So I thought this was a hilarious example by Chiquita, the banana brand.
Chiquita.
This is when the solar eclipse was happening at the beginning. When was that?
I think it was this year.
It was the summer.
This summer.
It was like August. So a couple months ago.
A while back.
When the moon came in front of the sun. And everyone was into it. You know, everyone was like, wow, the solar eclipse is happening. And it was such a relevant thing for everybody because everyone around the world was experiencing it. For sure. So Chiquita did this. They made this little thing and they put it on their Twitter, and I thought it was hilarious.
On August the 21st, Chiquita will physically move the moon in front of the sun to create an enormous fiery yellow banana in the sky. Chiquita banana sun! But don't look directly at the Chiquita banana sun without protective eyewear. Oh, thank you. It can be very harmful to your eyeballs. I know it may be very tempting, but oh, look at it wiggling in that cool way. Oh no, I'm looking at it. Cut to the map. Banana map. Unlike the boring total eclipse, Chiquita will make the banana sun visible to everyone in North America. What's that music? No, not the wave. You're just supposed to be a useful metaphor, but now you're trying to make people look at you and they shouldn't do that. Oh, this is ridiculous. Don't let its hypnotic movements distract you from my main point.
That was hilarious.
He danced like me.
Yeah, I thought they did a great job with that. And like, who would have thought that a banana company could somehow relate themselves to the eclipse? But they did it.
Right.
They did it. They found a way.
Yeah, and that's just the advantage of just having creativity behind a brand, just to be in that conversation of things that's going on. That really creeped me out. I didn't know where that banana came from after that.
All of a sudden, there's arms.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
All right, next we're gonna talk about giveaways.
Giveaways are great. Everybody loves free stuff.
Oh my gosh, and that should get out of my head. Wow, that's like the 4th time we said something the same. But everybody loves free stuff. Giveaways are huge. And they're a great way to get engagement on your content. So if you're a product out there, a product brand that's using social or on the come up, think about doing a giveaway and kind of giving a incentive behind it. So maybe if you're on Instagram, you tell people, hey, make sure you follow our page. Tag 3 or 4 friends that you think will be interested in the page. Share something on your story and tag us. And that gives a chance to spread your brand awareness. And yeah, you get people more involved. And it works.
Oh, you know what? I actually just did this. So, 1037, The Q, shout out. Birmingham radio station.
Shout out.
They're giving away tickets right now. I shouldn't tell everybody. I'm just kidding. They're giving away tickets right now to Sloss Fest in July.
Nice.
And the way that they were getting people to engage with their content is they were like, hey, if you go to this place in Pelham and take a photo and post it and tag us and use the hashtag, you'll be entered to win these tickets.
For sure.
And like, I did that. I drove all the way to Pelham, took a picture of this monkey on the wall. that's what I needed to do.
It's a
and
pretty
I
epic
posted
picture.
it on my Instagram. I tagged them. I used their hashtag. And what's happening with this is a couple things. One, they're getting me to go visit this place, which it was a store. So I actually bought something from that store, which is exactly what they wanted. They wanted, they're bringing in people into this store simply to take a picture. And once you're in a store, you start looking around. That's what happens. Nice. And then they got me to share on my Instagram and like post about it. So now other people know about it.
Sweet.
And I used their hashtag and tagged them. So their network kind of grew as well. So much that happened, and it was so simple for them. They have one item that they're giving away to one lucky person. Hopefully me.
Right. Can't put a price on experience. But for sure, but definitely, I would say definitely take advantage of whatever it is that you have. And maybe it doesn't have to be like necessarily like a product of your brand. It can be maybe tickets to something. Tickets. Like if it's an event that's going on around there, use your brand as kind of not the elevator, I better say the elevator. The spotlight to to spread their awareness and get people engaged with your brand to win something that they might enjoy.
And it can be services, like sometimes you can give away a free haircut or whatever. Like it doesn't have to be. You're right. It doesn't have to be like if you don't offer a certain product, it doesn't have to be a product. Just get creative with it.
Right, and it's also an opportunity to even partner with certain brands that can help spread your name. If say, hey, I have this product here, but you guys have this great service. Is there a way that we can partner and we do a giveaway? And that'll help spread the awareness from their end as well as your end. And everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins. Next,
what else?
Discount codes.
Yeah. Discount codes are great. So discount codes is kind of like free stuff, but it's almost free stuff.
It's like almost there.
The great thing about discount codes is that you can give it to more people. So, a giveaway, you're ultimately just giving away one item to one person usually. Sure. But with a discount code, you're kind of offering it to all the people out there. You're saying, hey, come visit our site, come visit our store, whatever, and use this promo code that we're giving you either through our Instagram story or just in a tweet or whatever.
For sure.
Or sometimes it's like if you tag a friend, then you get a discount, things like that. So it's just ways to get people involved, incentivizing.
For sure.
Incentivizing that engagement. So yeah.
For sure. And then if you're spreading knowledge and let's say you have a course online, you may get a discount code to do a class, have access to a class. I mean, people love knowledge. Invest in knowledge.
Invest in knowledge.
Nice.
What else we got? Live content.
Live.
Clearly.
Just like this.
We love clearly we love live content. Live content is great for so many reasons, and we've talked about them before kind of. But basically, you're able to see people in real time.
Yes.
And that can be so huge depending on what it is you're doing.
For sure.
For example, if you have an event, like, if you have an event and you're in Birmingham and someone can't actually be in Birmingham, but they want to be a part of the event and they want to feel like they were there. If you're live streaming it, you're creating an experience for that person who couldn't be there.
For sure.
Which is really awesome.
Definitely. And like we talked about before, if you're teaching something, going live and have people have their questions answered right there on the spot can be really, really neat for them and help your brand become on this pedestal of, knowing whatever it is that you do know.
Establishing yourself as a thought leader, like really showing your experience and your expertise.
For sure.
In a new way.
Yeah, again, it's just like recapping events that you're at. So being the people's cameraman is almost kind of like that.
I like that. Hey, that was nice.
Hey.
Okay.
Dropping bombs.
Drop the mic.
All right. getting people to share and tag. So it's very simple. That's kind of very similar to, you know, getting engagement
There are
and
multiple
giveaways.
ways to do that, yeah.
Just getting people to share and tag. So if there's a piece of content that you're putting out there, and let's say it's, you know, something like this, you know, this is something that we believe that will help people who are using social to kind of up their brand. We advise you guys to share this.
Yes,
share this to
please
someone
do.
that can be helpful. And again, if it's not necessarily knowledge that you may know personally, it's a good way to be resourceful. You know, sharing knowledge that you found to help someone else that may be following you or soon to be following you, you know?
A lot of times I've seen brands even just simply say, you know, tag your best friend that you're going to take to brunch on Sunday.
Right.
Or whatever. And in a way, they didn't give them that person anything. They just ask something of their followers. And
Sure.
when that person does that, again, it's just expanding that network. So like if it was a place that served brunch and it said tag who you're going to take to brunch on Sunday,
Right.
and someone tags me, I'm most likely going to want to go to that place for brunch because I thought about it, you know?
Right, exactly.
And so they hooked me. Hooked me.
Hook. That's what, 5? I think that's 5.
One too many.
Yeah, it's one too many. But no, definitely, like getting people to share tag. And again, like it just goes back to giveaways, taking advantage of giveaways, and yeah. So, what is next?
Asking your followers questions. That's a great one, and that's kind of what I was just saying. Like,
Yeah.
who are you gonna take to brunch? But it doesn't have to be something where you tag someone else. Like a lot of times,
Right.
it can just be like, who have you been listening to on the radio lately?
Exactly.
And
Maybe a music artist. You can say, hey, where do you guys think I should perform? And, you know, if you have a following, people will let you know. And, you know, that's kind of like the market research, you know, outside of just using polls. Just take advantage of your captions or using live. Just ask these questions and get people to give you answers that they're looking for.
because sometimes you're getting feedback, but a lot of times you're just creating a conversation.
For sure.
And that's a really great way to get people engaged, is to start a conversation that people want to be a part of.
For sure, because so many things happen on the daily across social media and just in the world, and there's so many conversations that need to be had. But just being that leader and saying, hey guys, this thing just happened. What are your thoughts on it? This is how I feel. I want to know, am I wrong?
Yeah.
What are you guys feeling? And again, just getting engagement and getting people to express themselves through your brand,
Yep.
your personal brand. And last but not least, supporting a cause.
Supporting a cause is always great,
Sure.
especially if it's a great cause.
Supporting a cause because it's a great cause. But no, just using your brand to stand up for something that you believe in. So if you have a personal stand on an issue that may be going around in the world, or you're trying to raise money for a certain, you know, maybe it's like health issues or things like that, but using your platform to, elevate that, again, is another way to get people engaged that believe in the same things that you believe
Yes.
in, at least on the moral standpoint. And again, that's another way that can drive conversation. You can take advantage of live on that issue or thing that you're supporting, or on that cause. That can really help, you know, drive engagement and find the things that really resonate with you personally to, get the conversation going.
Yeah, a lot of times brands will create campaigns specifically for one certain cause. Like,
Exactly.
if it's sometimes if it's a big brand, they support multiple causes.
For
So
sure.
they'll have campaigns dedicated to one certain cause, and usually they'll have a hashtag surrounding it.
Right.
They'll have, a certain theme to it. And
Yeah.
I think it's a great way, especially if your followers feel the same way and have
For
the
sure.
same values and support the same things, then they're going to be even more deeply involved and want to be engaged because you support the same things, and they want to support you supporting those things.
For sure.
So yeah, that can be a great way to get people engaged and involved.
Definitely. And if you're on Instagram, make sure you take advantage of hashtags. Hashtags
Oh, yeah.
play a huge part
Bigger
in
than
getting
you think.
getting the content in front of the people that need to see it.
So true.
So if you are supporting a cause or you're trying to get into the certain conversations, be on the lookout for the type of hashtags used. You know, people make certain hashtags around this cause that are in front of a certain amount or a certain type of people. So you can take your content, apply that hashtag, and your content would be in that conversation.
Part of that conversation.
Right.
At the same time, if you want to start a new conversation and maybe you don't want to get wrapped up in a campaign that already exists,
Right.
Take your time to do a little research before you start and see which hashtags are already being used. And then try to come up with a unique hashtag so that all of your things will be only under one umbrella.
For sure.
But it just depends. It depends on what your goal is. If you want to create something unique and create a unique campaign no one else has touched yet, then you really want to do your research and make sure that whatever phrase, language, verbiage you're using is unique to your campaign and your cause.
Exactly. All right. Well, I think that's it.
That was great.
Thank you guys for tuning in. So before we go, let's go back to the comments. So, do you remember the Anna spelled backward joke earlier?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a joke. That was actually like a mind-blowing
It's
thing.
real.
It's the same thing as race car, guys. For those who don't know, race car spelled backward is race car. So think about
That's true.
NASCAR in reverse.
It's called a palindrome. But like, it's weird that palindrome isn't spelled backwards. That palindrome isn't a palindrome. Like, I would feel like that, you know what I mean? I feel like I needed that word to also be a palindrome.
Right. So shout out to Raheem. Raheem, he's one of our animators, and he is tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in, Raheem.
Thanks for tuning in. Nice. Well, I guess that's it.
All right.
Awesome. So if this has been helpful to you guys, make sure you share.
And like.
Share and like, because I think this can be really helpful for anyone that you know that's starting a brand. We hope this was helpful for you if you're starting a brand on social media.
Tag a friend if you
Tag a
think
friend,
that they should eat cereal with us.
We should do a giveaway.
We should do a giveaway.
We need to talk about
All right. Here we go. What do you want us to give away? What do you
Exactly.
want?
What
Next
do you
time,
want, guys?
maybe we'll do a giveaway.
What do you like? Do you like Rice Krispies or do you like Reese's Puff? We're going to put a poll out there.
We're not going to give away Rice Krispies. Nobody wants Rice Krispies.
Hey, man, shout out to all my Rice Krispie lovers. They're still in business. They're still selling. There's somebody out there that loves them.
Snap, crackle, pop.
But again, be sure to share this, and I think this can be really helpful for anyone that wants to start their brand and go to the next level on social media. Nice. And if you guys have an idea for a giveaway, make sure you comment below or hit us up. Let us know what you guys think, and we always want to make the show better, so
let us know what you think.
let us know what you think.
All right. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace out. I'm rolling out. I'm rolling out.
She's rolling out.